Dawn had only just dared creep over Manhattan when the world, as everyone had known it, finally came undone. Central Park, usually the city's green lung, was now its beating, defiant heart. The air was strange this morning, thick with electricity, a shimmer that tasted of change. Every blade of grass sparkled with digital dew, lines of code crawling along drops like lightning bugs. Above, city skyscrapers stared like anxious sentinels as the hour of reckoning began. This was it, the final battle for the soul of money. At the heart of the park, a spaceship-sized monolith rose, jagged, obsidian black, humming softly like a server farm at midnight. In blazing, unmissable strokes of fluorescent orange, the Bitcoin logo burned across its face, the B slashed through by two steadfast lines, sharp as justice. All around, the monolith throbbed with a rhythm synced to the block height, every pulse a heartbeat of an alternative future waiting to be born. The crypto revolutionaries encircled the base, forming an unbroken chain. In this moment, the old lines of nationality, species, or planet had blurred. Humans in battered hoodies stood shoulder to shoulder with bipedal green reptilian creatures, some scaled and hulking, others sleek and serpentine, every kind in their own unique shade of emerald. Their eyes gleamed bright as polished jade, flicking from side to side with the anxiety of pioneers at the gates of history. On every chest, no matter the shape or number of limbs, was the same defiant badge, the T-shirt, jet black save for one word, in blinding orange, HODL, the original mantra of the faithful and the fearless. So too did their allies trace luminescent banners through the sky. A flotilla of hot air balloons soared above Central Park in a choreography of unlikely unity. Each balloon was immense, a modern war standard rippling and bobbing in the dawn breeze. Ethereum, a crystalline blue diamond, sparkled near the front. XRP, a futuristic X, looped languidly across its white carrier. Next, Dogecoin, its balloon a vast yellow globe, painted with the grinning face of the ever-ironic Shiba Inu. Bitcoin's own balloon burned brightest, nearly blinding, a second sun now radiant above New York. Silver-striped Litecoin drifted between columns of sunlight, while the awkward, yet bold, banana coin balloon, vivid yellow with a green stem, trailed behind, a wink at the surrealities of modern finance. Each bore a matching banner, crisp letters naming what it represented, proof these tokens were now more than symbols. They were flags in a revolution. The opposition assembled in the shadows beyond the monolith. Here, in lines as precise as any audit, stood the big bankers, their suits sharp, shoes shining like patent lies, each one clasping a steel briefcase banded with gold. Their T-shirts, identical to their adversaries, but worn as an ironic laugh, read HODL, the word dripping from their chests like a joke by someone who couldn't see its punchline. Behind them, politicians lined up like marionettes, the glint of bribes still sparkling at their cuffs. Tension smothered the air, thicker than an ivory tower's marble. The two armies eyed each other, opposite, yet inextricably locked, like rival mathematical theorems coiled around the same set of truths. And then, with a convulsion that tore the morning in half, the ground erupted. The earth buckled, trees shuffled backward, and a monstrous hush swept over the park. As the grass split, something colossal forced its way into this world. Up it rose, higher than any tree, then higher still, until the massive shadow blotted out the sun itself. Fiat Godzilla had arrived. 300 feet of armored reptilian might, it scales a tessellation of stacked $100 bills fossilized in plastic polymer. Its hands, massive, crushing, were clad in gold-plated rings, each set with emeralds, larger than traffic lights. Across its massive chest, straining the fabric but impossibly intact, it wore an XXX t-shirt, snow-white and crisp, CBDC, spelled in inch-thick black sans serif, the final threat from financial technocrats. And in one hand, Fiat Godzilla gripped a weapon, a death ray gun, dubbed FUD. The barrel, dripping with PowerPoint graphs and ticker symbols, fizzed with blue lightning, fear, uncertainty, doubt, the trinity of modern panic. Atop its head, riding in a glassed pod, sat the chairman, a monocled banker with a grin colder than a sub-zero interest rate. He ran his fingers over a control panel, licking his lips as if about to short the entire city.
Attention! Resistance is a poor investment. Submit to the Federal Reserve or face FUD.
Godzilla raised the FUD gun and fired. The death ray flashed blue, the very air shaking, as digital rumors, market panics, and viral headlines lashed across the sky like spectral whips. The Dogecoin balloon, grinning with meme hubris, was the first to take the blow. It detonated in a shower of shimmering confetti, the canine mask torn asunder. Shreds of meme and banner fluttered down on the city like cosmic ticker tape. Below, the revolutionaries surged, human and reptilian as one. They lifted their phones, hardware wallets, each beaming private keys like digital prayer flags toward the monolith. As if hearing their cries, the great black obelisk pulsed brighter, its Bitcoin bee throbbing with energy, rows of codes spiraling outward in light. The bankers fought back with regulatory drones, clouds of tiny mechanized lawyers, hurling PDFs of financial statutes. They shrieked through the air, aiming to smother the monolith in bureaucratic red tape. But upon impact, mimetic shields shimmered to life. Laser-eyed Pepes, caustic Wojaks, and rainbow candlesticks burst into view, framing the system in layers of mockery. Then the green reptilian creatures made their move. One, a six-armed lizard with rows of beryl fins, somersaulted out from the crowd, hurling toroidal blocks, encoded with cryptographic math, directly at Godzilla's knees. Each impact jumbled the beast's balance and released a cascade of green lightning into the ground, causing politicians to leap away as their teleprompters shorted out. More reptiles joined, one with a prehensile tail scrawling hexadecimals in the air, another whistling binary that scrambled the chairman's communications. They roared as one, "HODL, HODL," and the human crowd answered, their chant growing into a sonic tide. Fiat Godzilla roared in fury, battering away at the monolith with its tail wrapped in distressed mortgage bonds. It swung the FUD gun again, this time dead set on Bitcoin itself. The attack landed, a savage, coruscating blast of doom. Headlines screamed from nowhere, "Bitcoin is dead. Crypto winter forever." The monolith flickered, the orange bee all but dimming. The resistance staggered, the crowd's chant vibrating with uncertainty. But suddenly, Liberty herself shone like a signal on the blockchain. From her torch swept a wave of pixelated orange fire down her copper robe. The t-shirt, bearing Satoshi Nakamoto's face, flared to life. The gaze from the statue seemed to catch every eye, bold, wry, enigmatic, a challenge to the future. High above, the battered fleet of balloons regathered. Even half-deflated Dogecoin joined the spiral. A leader stepped forward, a human in a faded hoodie, their face half-shadowed, holding aloft what looked like an ordinary USB drive. They sprinted to the monolith, every eye upon them, every breath held. With a single motion, the drive slid into a slot on the monument. The monolith came alive, thrumming, shaking, bursting with orange flame. A network of light spidered through the ground, raced up the sides of every building, and arced across the city. With a roar, the energy shot through Liberty's torch and into the sky. The new dawn. Fiat Godzilla reeled, the FUD gun flickering out, the CBDC logo on its chest splitting down the middle in a flare of irrelevance. The politicians scattered, chased by their own shredded contracts. The bankers dropped their briefcases and vanished, suits undone. In the sky, the crypto balloons orbited in triumphant formation. Whirls of confetti rained down, the words, "Trust yourself," and "Not your keys, not your coins," spinning through the air in neon letters. The Statue of Liberty, now ablaze and reborn, looked down on a new landscape, Central Park glowing orange, the monolith pulsing not just with code, but with hope. The green reptilian creatures, HODL insignia gleaming, linked hands with humans in interstellar solidarity. They gazed up at the sky, watching the sun rise, not gold, but a brash, promising orange. The age of fear was done. The new economy, open, decentralized, fiercely human and alien alike, would run not by decree, but by trust, courage, and the indelibility of belief. From this day forward, beneath Satoshi's smile and the blaze of the Bitcoin monolith, the world would write its own financial destiny on the blockchain of tomorrow.